down 1,000 times. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. We are back in the backyard here, enjoying some sunshine, getting ready for the fantasy football season. I'm pumped to talk about fantasy football tight ends. I get a lot of DMs. A lot of people ask me, can you talk about tight ends? If I pass up on Kelce, what do I do? Give me some tight end sleepers. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 solid tight end sleepers. But on top of that, most importantly, the strategy on how to draft a tight end, because that is very important. So many people invest in Kelce early, which is great, but he is due for a decline eventually. When will the reign, the run, the end of Kelce actually happen? When will that actually happen? Could it be this year? That's very possible, but I'm not investing a first-round pick on a tight end when I need to secure the most scarce position, which is the running back position. Okay, that's what I do. Now, if you're in a 2-quarterback league, you probably need a quarterback early. So there is a huge drop-off after the Kelce pick. So if you invest in Kelce, you know, maybe you're like, oh, I'm not going to get a good tight end. With the tight end, as long as you get 10 solid points, you are solid. So we'll talk about strategy, everything you need right here in this video, so you're solid. Before I get in this video, guys, go to fandraft.com, enhance your draft experience. Now with a digital draft board, okay? The site you want to go to is fandraft.com/FFC, and the code you want to use is FFC10 to save on a pro account. Now, this is going to be amazing because you can completely customize your entire draft, guys, okay? So go to fandraft.com, and again, remember those old boards where you put it on the wall, you know, the draft board, and people would walk up with the sticker? You don't got to do that. Okay, now everything is done for you digitally. Again, guys, get with the future now. Fandraft.com/FFC. Go enhance your draft experience. Go get the digital pro account right now. Use FFC10 to save right now. This is the future, guys. We've arrived. Okay, and the cool thing about this is that when you guys are doing it remotely via computer, you guys can still use this digital board. So you can have that amazing draft customizable experience, and you could do it remotely, okay, from the comfort of your home. So go there. And again, of course, guys, secure the 16-round drafts, which I've linked it below. Smash your leagues, guys. Use the code SMASH. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players drafted each round, including tight ends, and exactly where to get them, guys. Head on over right now, thefantasyfootballaccounts.com. I've also linked it below. The sun is shining strong here, guys. It is the time of this recording, 9 o'clock in the morning here in the Northeast. It's shining. The vitamin D is absorbing. I'm in the mood, guys, for fantasy football. We are getting close to the season, and we're going to be talking tight end. So let's dive into this. Smash a thumbs up and give me a tight end that you really like this year in later rounds, because we're not drafting Kelce. We're not investing in Kelce. We are going running back early, a Jan, a Taylor, someone like that, and we are waiting on tight end. So let's talk strategy. Let's talk about these 3 sleepers. The first one here, guys, is JUWAN Johnson. Now, JUWAN Johnson is going into his 4th season right now, okay? You could say years to wow us, we're not wowed. Now, I've actually been watching his targets. He had 10 targets in his rookie season, 20 targets, you know, in his second season, and last year, 65 targets. So he's actually been going on this nice incline. Now, to compound and make that incline even better, he gets a quarterback that happens to like to throw to tight ends. He's getting Derek Carr. Now, to put this in reference here, Derek Carr in 2020, his number 1 receiver was Darren Waller. Waller in 2020 had 145 targets for 107 receptions and 1,196 yards and 9 touchdowns. So we know that Derek Carr likes his tight ends. You got JUWAN Johnson, who's a big fantasy football sleeper at the tight end position, who, guys, has been inclining every single year. So JUWAN Johnson's in a position now to succeed, and there's nobody else there. There's nobody else that's going to steal the targets. Last year, JUWAN Johnson had 65 targets, 42 receptions, and he had Dalton throwing the ball. Big upgrade here at quarterback from a fantasy perspective, because you guys know I don't like Carr in reality. The guy hasn't even won 1 playoff game. He's overrated. But from a fantasy perspective, this guy could really make JUWAN Johnson ultra efficient. Now, let's go to draft strategy here when you're looking at fantasy football draft strategy with tight ends. I like to anchor my team with a solid, you know, boring, safe tight end. Let's just say I'm going to use, let's use Tyler Higbee for example here. So we're going to get Higbee as our base tight end, and we're going to roll the dice with a JUWAN, or maybe JUWAN could be your base, and the two guys that I suggest later could be your upside tight ends, okay? But that's the strategy, guys. It's that simple. You get a tight end that can give you 8 to 10 points every single week, and you back them up with an upside tight end. I've got 3 of them here. Well, 2 of them particularly after JUWAN. JUWAN could be your ace and anchor, like similar to a Higbee or a Gerald Everett, for example, and then you get yourself an upside tight end later. I'm going to give you the decks too right now. But again, JUWAN Johnson in a position to really thrive. They've got Taysom Hill there, Kamara, possible looming suspension there. Michael Thomas can't stay healthy. Olave is going to get a lot of work. But I'm really seeing JUWAN being in a position to really, succeed. And again, he kind of showed us flashes last year that he could be the guy to get it done. So very interesting here to see JUWAN possibly thrive for 2023 fantasy football at the tight end position, okay? And again, as long as you get those 10 points, you're solid. The second sleeper here, I love the upside here on the Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas is Michael Mayer, okay? Now, Michael was drafted in the second round by Vegas. Now, you got to look at the situation here. He was drafted in the second round. They don't have another tight end there. They've got Hooper. They've got O.J. Howard. Guys, as of late, have had years to wow us, and we're not really wowed. Hooper was good a couple years ago, had a decent fantasy campaign. I think he was on the Falcons with Matt Ryan years ago. But now in comes Michael Mayer, who was a second-round pick, guys, okay? This is really interesting. 6'4", 249 pounds. Jimmy Garoppolo potentially being the quarterback there, going to be throwing the ball to him as a red zone target. The opportunity is there. Other than Adams, they've got nobody else. Who do they have? Myers at wide receiver? They've got no one else. So Michael Mayer could really be a guy that could really shine. Opportunities there. Top of the depth chart. Early draft capital by the Vegas Raiders. There's an opportunity here as a guy, as a backup tight end with massive top 10 potential finish, okay? Now, again, do we trust Garoppolo, the quarterback situation? If the volume is there, that's good. Now, people are investing a first or second round pick on Adams, who I believe is going to decline. Give me Michael later at the tight end position, who was a second round pick with a massive ceiling, okay, and a red zone target. And in college, 67 receptions last year, 809 yards receiving, and 9 touchdowns. This guy knows how to find the end zone and could be doing it quite often with the Vegas Raiders, okay? Loving this, guys. Love the upside. I'm making sure that I try to target him in later rounds, okay? Now, your league mates may not even know about this guy, so the opportunity is there. And the last one here, I just did a video on him on Instagram talking about him, is Sam LAPORTA, known as the human tank. They called him the human tank in college. Now, his touchdowns last year weren't 9 like Michael Mayer, but he had 1 touchdown. But the guy had 657 yards receiving, 58 targets last year. And you got to understand that he's in a position to succeed with a very consistent Jared Goff in a very potent offense. Now, Jameson Williams is going to be dealing with the suspension. Obviously, they've got some other targets there. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get his share, but they got no one else. They got Brock Wright at tight end. He sucks. Sam LAPORTA was a second-round pick, guys, and is currently sitting as tight end 29. You're getting him and Michael Mayer for immense value. You get these guys later, and again, as long as you can secure your 10 points every single week at the tight end position and get yourself a tight end with massive upside, that's all you need. And nobody's teaching this stuff. They're saying go tight end early, or they're just giving you a name based on ADP. This is the worst thing to happen to fantasy football, is drafting based on average draft position, or just based on, average draft position, just what the consensus are doing, the consensus. This is logical, practical thinking that's worked for me every single year. Every single year, guys, this works. You get yourself a base tight end, and you get yourself an upside tight end later. You get 2 tight ends, and you can rotate on matchups, or you can rotate on who's being more consistent, or if the upside tight end starts to kick in, away you go. So 3 sleepers there, right there for you. The birds are going crazy here. You got 3 sleepers there for you. You got JUWAN Johnson, Michael Mayer, Sam LAPORTA, and you're set at the tight end position. Again, there's more. If you want all of my sleepers and breakouts and an actual strategy to draft all the optimal players in each round laid out on a silver platter with a printable cheat sheet and a video training walking you through it, it's like having me at the draft with you. Get the 16-round draft solution right now, guys. thefantasyfootballcast.com. I've linked it below as well, guys. 16-round draft solution, or you could just Google it. Go watch the video to learn more about it. secure the solution, secure the championship. All right. So that's the strategy, guys. Very simple. Get 10 points out of your tight end, get an upside tight end later. And that's it. You want to focus on positions that are more important. Anchor your team with an ace quarterback. Make sure you have a decent, robust RB strategy to make sure you secure the most scarce position, which is running back, and have a backup plan for a backup plan. So again, all this is explained in 16 rounds. Make sure you guys subscribe, and of course, drop a tight end below that you think should have himself a great year, guys. Again, it's very, very important. I cannot express this enough to you guys. I cannot emphasize this enough to you guys that you have a lot of depth on a backup plan for a backup plan. And especially at the tight end position where there's a huge fall off with Kelce, you want to make sure you secure those positions and get those tight ends in the combination that I kind of stated here for you right here in this video, all right? If you're new to the channel, subscribe, thumbs up, and again, fandraft.com, guys, go get that digital board. Amazing experience. Fandraft.com, use code FFC10 to secure your pro account and enhance your draft experience. I appreciate you guys. Content coming out to you guys daily. Going to be crushing it for you guys. #1 fantasy football podcast. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.